Hey guys, so today we have a video about our favorite TikToker, Michelle the Bartender. I know, I haven't talked about her in a minute because she's just been kind of in her own world, doing her own thing. But last we left off, she divorced the husband that was like dangerous to her children, like bringing drunk people back from the bar to get them robbed. And she then said, I will not talk about our arrangement out of the privacy for him and my child. But then he found a new girlfriend and suddenly she was so okay oversharing about their custody agreement and what he isn't doing, and that's after already oversharing their whole marriage and all the issues they had. And then she found a new job at a bar called like Jimmy's or something. There is now some drama to do with that, and then some drama with her believing that the Super Bowl was like black magic being sent out through the TV at people. So let's do a little gander, because I know people have been talking about her, but I just want to go through and see what I've missed because I didn't even realize that she was still doing all of this stuff. Today's video is actually very kindly sponsored by NordVPN, who have been my VPN of choice for probably half a decade now, and it will be yours too. And that is if you click the link in description or go on nordvpn.com/Angelika Oles, and you'll get a huge discount on a 2-year plan with 4 additional months completely free. NordVPN also has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if by some odd chance you happen to be one of those weirdos that doesn't like it, it's risk-free, but you'll like it because I like it, and I think we're similar people. There are different kinds of people that use NordVPN. One is the person who's obsessed with threat protection, cybersecurity, as everyone should be. We should be more like that person, which NordVPN can massively help you with. They have features such as threat protection, which protects you from malicious sites, downloads, trackers, and intrusive ads. And it's always on the lookout, even if you're not connected to the NordVPN. Just having it on in the background is enough. If you use the feature called CyberSec, you can avoid malware hosting websites, annoying ads, and botnet control. They have a strict no logs policy, which then further protects all your data. They don't track, collect, or share any of your private data. You can use it on multiple devices. So one account lets you connect up to 10 devices. That could be phone, tablets, laptops, PCs, anything of that sort. And you still probably have a few spare. And because of how convenient the apps are on the tablets and the phones, you can stay protected even on the go. If you're, a student who studies in the libraries, or you study in cafes and you happen to connect to a lot of public Wi-Fi's, it might be a good idea. No, it is a good idea to just have NordVPN on because there are many pesky hackers pretending to be public Wi-Fi's, and the moment you connect to them, all your data is just poof, gone to them. And that's what we don't want. Now, the other kind of person that uses NordVPN is someone who still possibly cares about cybersecurity, but also really wants to watch a large variety of content. You can connect to a different country and watch content on their streaming services. As you guys know, different countries get different content, and if you're paying for one subscription service, you should be getting all of the content that they have to offer. That's what I think. And with the prices rising, you want to get the best bang for your buck. And you can do that with NordVPN. I always connect to a different country if I want to watch something and they don't have it on my side of the ocean. If you keep up with any sports teams, but you can't watch it because you're on holiday, holidays are coming up, great use of NordVPN. I always do that if Love Island is on and I travel. I will every night, I'll check, what time Love Island is on, and I'll be able to watch it live from wherever I am in my hotel room, which is amazing. So there are those kind of different people for NordVPN, or you can just be both of them combined, care about your cybersecurity, but also get a large amount of content to watch. And that is if you click the link in description, or you go on nordvpn.com/Angelika Oles, and you'll get a huge discount on a 2-year plan with 4 additional months completely free. Let's get back into the tea. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for engagement. Let's just get into it. I guess she's still oversharing, which is nice, because she's also got a new boyfriend now, and that links to her new job drama. But apparently she's still oversharing, so that's at least what I wrote in my notes. So this is her video on why her boyfriend of over a year hasn't moved in with her yet. As if anyone needs to be clued in. No one needs to be clued in on that. You've also got a son, so you have a child. It makes sense that just because you've known someone for a year, and a year is like nothing in the grand scheme of life. So maybe it's a good thing. We don't really need to justify that.
Why I don't have my boyfriend move in with me. He does so much around your house. He does your laundry, fold your son's clothes, he hangs up your clothes, he'll take your trash out, he'll take the trash to the road and then bring it back. He gets your mail. He doesn't open my mail, but he gets it. He goes grocery shopping a lot for me. He'll bring home all this meat and stuff that we're gonna cook. He'll marinate it. He'll cook at my house. He does my dishes. If he gets up before me, he will feed the dogs and let them out. He knows the procedures of letting them out. He does do a lot around my house. But this man has so much stuff. I don't have the room to store all of his things here at my house, so he would have to get a massive storage unit. The property that he lives on is increasing in value because the area around is like, there's all this construction. He's thinking that they're gonna re-annex the property that he lives on so that instead of having like a single family home, that they'll make it to where you can have condos or duplexes in that amount of land. We want to build a house together somewhere in the future. And he also has a cat there that the cat does their rounds. You know how they do. The cat is an indoor outdoor cat, so he'll keep the cat indoors when it's like really bad weather, and then he'll let the cat outdoors, and the cat comes back to be able to eat when he comes home. Like the cat comes running, so he makes sure he goes there every day to feed the cat. And I don't know how my dogs would do with the cat here, and the cat would not be able to do its rounds in its like routine. Also, I'm allergic to cats, so it would have to be mostly an outdoor cat. Also, this house is in my name. I don't want to add his name to this house. I pay the mortgage here, and I wouldn't want him to be paying the mortgage on a house that he doesn't own. He does stay here like most of the time. But yeah, I don't plan on ever fully living with him until we own a place together. So really right now, his house is there to store his stuff and for his cat. He pretty much lives here.
That was a lot of information, like everything that he does for you. We just didn't need to know that. And it's so funny that after a year of knowing someone and being with them, it's not like, oh, well, I have a child I have to think about and blah, blah, blah. None of that is an issue. It's like, oh, he has a cat and a lot of stuff. And this is how you open yourself up to critique. Because I wouldn't have critiqued this because I wouldn't have known, and I shouldn't have known. You shouldn't have told me. That's the tea. Now we have a bit more oversharing.
People are like, you just need to get over it. Just move on. No. I have worked so hard for the past year and 2 months to keep my relationship and social media separate. When somebody thinks that they can get up on here and just call me a thief and a liar and accuse me of all this crazy stuff and then also out my relationship that I have worked, I was not ready for that. Now that person got the clout off of me for outing something that I wasn't ready to talk about. I didn't want anybody to know who he was, and he didn't either.
It's very telling that she's like, now this person got clout off of my oversharing. It's like she's just like, everything to her is, how can I get clout out of my oversharing, which is fine. I think obviously you should get the clout for your own stuff, but it just, I guess, shows her mindset on these things. Like she overshares because it does really well on her platform and she's pissed off. Not because someone violated her privacy. I don't think that's what's pissing her off. It's that she didn't get to capitalize off of the oversharing.
Just because you guys know that he was the former active owner doesn't mean that I'm going to be sharing him on here. We are still together and we are great. He came over on Sunday night and brought me these and these right here. The reason that I wanted to keep him and my social media separate is if I get hate.
I also do find it a bit, cringe is not the right word. Whatever the word is for that. The like need to constantly validate how great of a guy he is because she's known for making really bad romantic decisions. She's on husband like number 3. I think the last one was number 3. And then this is like a new guy, and a year in, she's already thinking about, let's buy a house together. And I think she's feeling the need to overplay how much of a great guy he is. And he might be a great guy, but people have been severely like judging her male picking. So now I feel like she feels the need to go above and beyond to be like, and he bought me these flowers. See, he's a good guy. It's like, we'll see when he brings drunk people back home.
Something that I do, that's on me. But I know how the internet is, and they will go and they'll take it out on stuff that he's doing separately, and I do not want that. My haters should not bleed over into his life. But when people out who people are on the internet, people go and learn to keep my name out of their mouth when they don't know what they're talking about. People are like, you just need to get over it.
Well, that last bit made no sense because he is your boyfriend. So they did know what they were talking about. I don't know, that just made no sense. Anyway, then we're going to politics, which I'm going to touch on extremely quickly because this is not a politics video, but I'm just going to touch on it quickly. She talked about Doge, she talked about things happening in America, and she talked about North Korea. So I'm just going to quickly skirt through these. I don't want to waste too much time on this because I have nothing of value to add, but just like it bleeds into the black magic stuff. I feel like I've had this like a pipeline that she's on, and it's concerning.
I've been seeing a bunch of these videos on my For You page, and I'm so genuinely confused. Can somebody please explain to me why Americans here, tax-paying Americans, are mad that they're cutting like spending on foreign countries, like the Doge thing? We have people in North Carolina in the mountains that I personally have donated more money to help them than our US government has. Doesn't that make you guys mad? If it doesn't make you mad, why are you American? Like our tax, have you guys seen the list? Hold on, let me show you. This is how much of our taxpayer money politicians have given to foreign countries in the last 4 years. And we have people in America that can't afford to buy groceries, that are struggling to pay their rent. Like, I just feel like maybe there's something that I'm missing. I'm finally happy that our government is doing something that is to help us here Why have we been footing the bill for the whole world? I'm really just confused about why people are like threatening violence and stuff.
Like I said, like not my country, so I'm not going to be speaking in depth. All I'm saying is I think it's a nuanced topic. A lot of people think, yeah, let's spend less money on yada 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 woo and spend more money on Americans. Sure. One, it's not that easy. Two, there are already deals in place for why this money is being sent, and it's just causing a bit of mayhem. Three, they're cutting things or overplaying / underplaying things that aren't real / are real. Like nowadays, I don't actually know what I'm reading and if it's real or not because the sources aren't great. And then also Elon Musk is just like, why are you suddenly in government? I don't quite, it's polarizing for that reason. I feel like if it was anyone else being like, hey, let's go through these budgets and, sort them out, people would be like, yeah, makes sense. But it's Elon Musk. Let's read the comments. See, someone said, it's more complex than that. That's what I mean. It's such a nuanced topic. So to do a video, you, Michelle the Bartender, being like, guys, I know so much more about this than you do. Like, you're being so dumb right now. Like, it's not as easy as like 2 + 2 is 4. There's a reason why that money was being spent, and unraveling all of that is not as easy as just being like, Elon Musk, woohoo! Like, that's not... But should more money be going to Americans? Like from your... Yeah, of course. But it's just not that easy. Someone said, that list is beyond fake. I'm from a Romanian and can confirm we never received anything from the USA in the last 4 years. And she said, so where is it going is the question. Maybe it's not going anywhere because maybe it's just fake. This is what I mean. Like people will put up these lists of this amount of money is being spent on sending emails. It's like, where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? Can you cite your sources? I feel like citing your sources is a lost art. Let's bring it back. Because nowadays, I don't actually know what Americans are spending money on, what America is spending money on, where the money is going, and where it's not going. I don't know. And I try to listen to the news, but also, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, the UK is in its own shambles. I have to focus on that. I live here, so I have to focus on that. But I'm trying to, like, with one eye, watch the news in America. And I'm like, I don't know what's real and what's fake. But... I hope the best for you guys. Someone said, but you have no issue with the 15.4 billion the government has given to SpaceX and Tesla over the past decade. Okay, well, cite your sources, first and foremost. But, someone said the found money will still not go to USA citizens. That's why people are also mad, because they're like, well, we're going from one government doing that to another government. That's probably acting like they will move that money to us, but it will probably never make it to our pockets. Someone said, so stabilizing other countries is actually beneficial for the US. We end up paying more money through things like prices for goods and services when other countries are in turmoil. For example, USAID gave assistance to Egypt. This is important because of the Suez Canal. I mean, all of that is really actually interesting. Just like the tariffs bullshit is not good. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm not very political on this channel, obviously, because it's a tea channel. It's becoming here for politics. Good luck. But I personally... maybe I'm not in government for good reason, but I personally don't think the tariffs are good. And I don't think all this stuff with Canada was very smart either. So sometimes you think you might be doing a good thing, but it's not a good thing. And there's a reason why there's been a certain procedure for a while, because maybe that procedure is like the lesser of all the evils. Like it might be a option, but it might be the best out of the bunch. I don't know. But you let me know. Even if you disagree with me and you're like, I disagree because of yada yada you woody woody woo. I'm always happy to listen to people because maybe you know something that I don't know. And then I'll be like, oh, interesting. I'll take that into consideration. And maybe my opinion will change. Because as human beings, our opinions should change all the time. And if someone tells you that your opinions shouldn't change, they're wrong. And that's my opinion. Our opinions should be fluid. And... as you gain information and knowledge, you should be able to change opinions. And so just let me know in the comments if you think tariffs are a good thing. And if you think the Canada stuff was a good thing. You let me know and I'll read into it. But as of right now, based on the information I have right now, I just don't think it's quite working out the way the American population that voted for that might have thought it was going to work out. It's because they aren't helping us, they're helping the billionaires. Okay. Someone said, oh goodness, I'd love to have such a simplistic view of things. I truly envy you for that. That's what I was trying to say. Like, the topic is so nuanced that for Michelle the Bartender to post a minute-long TikTok and be like, guys, get with the program, is like so simple. It's just so beautifully simple. And like that person said, I just wish I also just, I was gonna say, was that simple? That's really mean. I wish there wasn't such like nuance. I just saw a cat in my garden and Phoebe hasn't quite seen the cat yet. So when she does see the cat, it's war. I think part of the problem is that people don't understand global economics. It's not just about what we do on US soil, but making sure we retain good relations with the countries we consider allies. Yeah. Like America is you guys are doing great. You're big and big and bad and, woo, and like everyone's scared. But also like if you end up alienating every other country, you're not then so big and bad. I'm sorry I know, because it's like America's the best country in the world. And I see it. But also, you do still need help from other countries, because there are other equally big and bad countries out there that don't quite like you guys. So maybe retaining some allies might be a good thing. I don't know. But sometimes we have to learn the hard way. And America's learning the hard way right now. And that's fine. Because the UK did the same thing not too long ago. We thought we were big and bad and we could just be individuals. And we've been struggling ever since. So maybe let's not alienate people that are helping us. And by people, I mean countries. Next one. This got so political for a minute. I don't hate anyone. Well. I'm just saying, like, it's not like I'm like, oh, well, if you think this, you're an idiot. But it's like, I just think sometimes things are more nuanced than... And that's why I also sometimes think this might be controversial. Should influencers be speaking out on politics if politics is not their main thing? Because these topics are so extremely nuanced that surely someone that is like doing a cut crease is also not going to be the person that gives you the best information and the best opinion. So like, should Michelle the Bartender be the person speaking out about this? No, I don't think so. Right, here's the next one.
Don't you think it's bullcrap what's happening right now regarding what? With that muskrat up in office having access to all of our information like that? That is a security threat. I personally think it's great that the government's being audited right now. We the people get audited all the time by the IRS with all of our personal information combed through. Why shouldn't our government be held to the same standards, especially with our own tax money? Elon Musk is a money-hungry oligarch out to make the 1% of the richest people just even richer. He wasn't even elected. What's he even doing in there anyway? I came up here to close out. Sure, what's your last name? It's Barnett. All right, there you go. Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks. $75. Hold on, wait, can I get an itemized copy of this receipt? You want an itemized copy? For what? Because I want to know what you charged me for. It just says an amount. It doesn't say what you charged me for. Oh, so you just want to know how your $75 was spent here? Yes, an itemized receipt. What if I said no? It's none of your business. Trust me, your money's being allocated correctly. I have the right to know what I'm paying for and how much each thing was. And I agree. There you go.
Yeah, as someone from outside the US, yes, the government needs to be audited, but Elon Musk is not the person to do it. That's the nuance, right? The government needs an audit because it's bad and there's an overspend of money that should be spent on other things. But is Elon Musk the best option we've got going on? And if he is, then I'm not religious, but I might pray, because that is a nightmare scenario. Really and truly. Elon holds government contracts. Him having access to the financial system is a clear conflict of interest. Companies don't get to audit themselves. His net worth has also risen by 160 million since the audit. It's not an audit. Wake up. You've got to be smarter than this guy. Yeah. Okay, well, here's some more politics we got going on, because that's not controversial at all to talk about on this channel. Someone said, Michelle, respectfully, you are wrong. You claim that the richest man in the world is the best person to perform the audit because he can't be bought. I don't think you grasp how truly greedy these billionaires are, but I also don't think she grasps how they become billionaires and how the government actually plays a massive role in the fact that they are able to become billionaires. Like, the government helps these companies out massively, not like financially, but just with laws and regulations, and they get helped along. They have good relationships with the government, hence why they are billionaires. So it's not like he's like, I'm a billionaire, so now the government can't buy me. Like, you're a billionaire because of the government. Why am I explaining it to Michelle as if she like cares? She's got her little opinion and that's fine.
I know that Elon Musk has spent $40 million of his own money on 5 Super Bowl ads, commercials, to expose the government of all the crap they've been doing with our tax dollars. I'm so excited to watch the Super Bowl this year. It'll be the first year that I've watched a Super Bowl in about 5 years. Because I don't really care about the Super Bowl. Usually I'm working. So I'm like, who won? Y'all are reaching so hard to try to get my last 2 posts that I've posted to be about a specific like political party, when really I'm taking it as a win for the US. Don't you want to know where your money's going when you pay your taxes? I do. I'm a registered, unassigned, independent. because I make my own decisions and come to my own conclusions about who I want to vote for. I have voted both ways in different instances for different reasons. I'm allowed to do that. And I love this audit that's going on. I think it should be done more often instead of just whenever the heck they feel like it. And y'all, the only argument that I've seen is that I am misinformed.
That little sneaky look at the end, she really thought she ate. I genuinely respect you and your content, but do you? Why? But I need to put in perspective, $40 million to Elon is about $18 to the average American. It's not impressive, it's terrifying. Also, according to this other person that didn't cite sources, he gained about 160 million net worth since then. So that 40 million is actually just, there's like a return on investment, you know? That was just like his investment. You are uneducated. It's like we're living in two different realities. So where were these commercials? Yeah, apparently there weren't any. Stop. It's Postman Pat. Stop it. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Someone said, I always watch you but never follow. Today I followed.
I gotta say that I really appreciate comments like this because I have been getting so many like unfollowed comments. If you feel the need to tell me that you're leaving, that you're unfollowing me because of whatever reason, I'm just gonna block you, babe. Why are you announcing your departure? It really is hard to do eyeliner in my phone camera. People will come into my comments and be like, why aren't you speaking on this thing? Why aren't you using your platform for good? And then when I use it for what I want to use it for, people are like, unfollowed, never unfollowed so fast. Bye. Posting about political content isn't something that I usually do, but if I want to, I will and I can. I'm allowed to do that too. But I wanted to look and see if I lost followers because I thought I was, because of all the exiters that are announcing themselves. This is the amount of followers that I have gained each day. I'm still up 431. I love you guys. Hey, welcome. January 24th, I gained 9,005. That was because that was the day that I posted about all those like racist comments that I was getting. And I was like really confused as to like where they were coming from. Turns out that it was some girl named Michelle Bishop that was white and had like sandy brown hair, and it was her, not me. And I really don't understand why that video got 6 million views almost. I really did not expect that.
Then we have a video about North Korea. And this is where she lost me. And I'm going to explain why after this. But the fact that she's just now found this episode and just now speaking on it, when it, like, people have been speaking about this person for ages and debunking all of her stories. So, also, I'm sorry, a Michelle the Bartender TikTok saying spreading awareness about North Korea as if she is the breaking story. Like, she is breaking this. We have never known about North Korea. We thought it was just a regular schmegular country. She's like, guys, did you know what's going on in North Korea? Yes, Michelle, we did for a while now. Yeah. I know it might be shocking that the rest of us have figured it out and you're just now getting to it. And the way you're getting into it is through misinformation and lies and propaganda. Anyway, I'll just let you guys watch this and then I'll explain why I'm so like, oh, whatever about it.
There was this podcast that I listened to by Joe Rogan. It seriously has changed my life. I'm gonna put right here what you can search on YouTube to go watch this. You guys, in North Korea, they are starved to the point where you can't think about anything else besides the next time that you're gonna eat. Whenever they do eat, they would eat like bugs and flowers and different plants. They didn't own land. If you found a cow or something like that, you couldn't kill it because the collective owned it. It was literally like the Hunger Games. Trading is illegal. You're not allowed to trade anything. They tell you what time you're gonna wake up, what you're gonna do that day, what you're gonna wear. You're not allowed to get like a haircut. The only thing that they do not control about your life in North Korea is breathing. They only bathe once a month because they have to bathe in the river. So in the wintertime, they don't bathe. There are no phones. There's no internet. And the concentration camps, they would get sent there to clean up nuclear waste. And you couldn't live longer than like 3 months when you went to these things. Transportation systems, they had to push these trains. This woman escaped.
Okay. So this is about a woman that escaped North Korea, and she now tells these stories of like, in North Korea, we have to eat rats because blah, 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 blah. And apparently, allegedly, now I don't mean to undermine this woman's story, apparently people have debunked her stories on North Korea, and she uses these over-exaggerated stories to go on podcasts and speak about things that aren't actually happening to gain clout for herself. So there's this meme, basically, that's like this one. In Turkey, you pay for ice cream, then the ice cream man pretends he's giving it and takes it back and you stop. So basically, that's like the trend. So like if something's happening in your country, you're like, in the UK, we pay for the NHS and then the doctor never sees you. Like, it's like supposed to be like a play on her thing. So it's really interesting that obviously Michelle is showing this TikTok. First of all, that is a pretty controversial figure. I think a lot of people do believe that believe a lot of the things that she says about North Korea, but a lot of people have also been debunking some of the stuff she says about North Korea to see if it's maybe a way of her being like, guys, shocking, North Korea, and then it gets her on podcasts and interviews and stuff. I mean, I don't know, I've never been to North Korea, and so I don't know what she's gone through, and I'm not here to invalidate that. I just think it's such an interesting, like, Michelle's so late on the train, because that episode was posted so long ago, and people have already talked about it, and they've talked about North Korea, obviously, for ages, even before that podcast episode, so it's just like, you're spreading awareness on North Korea now. Like, this meme came out of that episode. But apparently she's now become almost like a bit of a grifter. So she'll say stuff like, Harvard is worse than North Korea, to be like, the left is bad. Someone here said, and trying to use her embellished experiences. So people do think they're slightly embellished. Or very embellished. It's very controversial. I don't know, guys. I'm just saying. To imply that American left is somehow the same as or worse than North Korea. So she now goes on these podcasts, mainly right-wing, centered to right-wing podcasts, and basically says, like, in North Korea, we eat rats because we're so starved. But also, if you go to Harvard, it's basically as bad as North Korea because Harvard is left-wing. Like, that's basically the gist of the podcast episode. I'm saving you guys, like, hours of content. It is legitimately impossible to, in good faith, argue that anything in the US is even close to as bad as in North Korea. And for her to have experienced North Korea and then come to the US and say the American left is equally as bad as North Korea because sometimes they make you put pronouns in emails is definitely a way to say something. And apparently she's paid by a number of right-wing think tanks, and other DPRK defectors have said her stories make absolutely no sense from their experiences in North Korea. I think grifting is even before that, when every single other North Korea defector says that what she says isn't true. Didn't she say that they have been so hungry that they grabbed 2 sticks that had spider webs on it and they just started catching and the flying insects around with it to eat them, like from Shrek? Yes, exactly. Am I mistaken in thinking that this was the woman who claimed North Koreans have to push their trains to work and they all die in the process? This particular lady is not just telling stories about living conditions in North Korea, she's blatantly making shit. I don't know when that cut out, and maybe for good reason, because I'm getting really controversial here politically. I don't know, guys. I think North Korea bad. North Korea not the same as political left in US. This woman, controversial. But if she did go through all the things that she says, great on her for speaking out. Can I leave it at that to keep it non-controversial? Thank you, guys. Then we have this.
Did y'all see what FEMA did last week? The Federal Emergency Management Agency spent $59 million last week. I was like, hold on, wait, isn't government spending supposed to be on hold right now? Like on pause? Yes, it is. $59 million to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. How much were they really there for Asheville, LA, and spending supposed to be on hold right now? Like on pause? Yes, it is. $59 million to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. How much were they really there for Asheville, LA, and Florida? A clawback demand will be made today to recoup those funds. Thank God. FEMA, what were you thinking? You could have spent that money housing American homeless people, and I wouldn't even be mad. Because those people need homes, but instead you're gonna use that money to house. I do think that the government is just constantly like laundering money, our tax money, and just putting the reason as like, oh, well, we need $3 million to count all the squirrels. This can't be real. You would think that FEMA would be able to come up with a better receipt than like housing illegal.
This can't be real. You're so close to getting it yet so far, because people think it's not real, that a lot of these things are not accurate and they're not said by reliable sources. Let's ask ourselves, is Elon Musk an accurate and reliable source? I would trust gas station sushi before I would trust Elon Musk. I mean, yeah, but also, wow. What a comparison. Citing Elon Musk is absolutely insane. God, I miss media literacy. Yeah. If you Google it, it's all over the news, but Elon was the source because he is the head of Doge. So any Doge information is going to come straight from him. Am I wrong? Also, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it. Elon Musk, twat as is. Okay, fantastic. So not a reliable source of information. But 2, if you have a branch in government called Doge and you expect me to take it seriously,
here's a message for the Democratic Party. I'm a registered independent. I have voted both Democratic and I have voted Republican, both ways. I can see both parties, usually. Everybody's been, oh, she's MAGA. I thought MAGA was a cult that is like super in support of only Trump. It's like a Trump cult support group. I'm not that. The Democratic Party right now is making it really hard for anyone to see your point of view because I feel like all you're doing is attacking everyone. Trump could cure cancer and all the Democrats would protest to save it. We want cancer because it's Trump. Like when y'all wanted to change everything and say that it's no longer mother, it's birthing person. That's offensive a little bit to me because I gave birth to my son and I am a mother. I get where y'all are coming from with that, because if you give your child up for adoption, the person that adopts that child becomes that child's mother. So I kind of get all about body positivity and accepting people as who they are, yet I'm wearing Republican makeup. The reason that I don't wear that much makeup is because I don't feel like I need to. It saves me so much time in the morning, and I think I'm beautiful and I love the way that I look. If you want to wear mascara, I support that. And I love wearing mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow sometimes whenever I feel like it. On that random day, am I a Democrat or a like, that is just ridiculous. And if you hate me because of the fact that I like the audit that's going on with our government, Trump already said that he agreed on giving 20% of the savings from Doge to the American people. One thing that we should all agree upon is our bank accounts. We all like money, right? Do y'all not like money? So when you get that check in the mail from the Doge savings, you're not going to cash that check, are you? Because that would go against your morals. And if you don't pay taxes, you should not get a check. Because if you didn't pay...
If she thinks you guys are just going to get a check in the mail from Trump himself. Cure cancer, he literally cut funding for cancer research. I mean, the story just writes itself, really and truly. Wow. It's funny you use the he could cure cancer reference considering he cut funding for it. You're missing the point. We hate Trump because he does and has done bad things. We're not hating him for no reason. You're not getting a check. That's literally what... You're not getting a check, Michelle. No one's getting a check. Now we have some religious stuff. She went down a bit of a religious pipeline with mainly the Super Bowl. So here it is.
I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl. I'm just going to watch the commercials. Literally, that's all I'm going to watch, because I have my For You page is full of people warning us not to watch the halftime show, at the very least, that there's like some black magic going on. If you don't believe in that, that's fine. I'm a Christian. There was also a lot of people with like prophecies that have had dreams that God told them to share, that there's going to be some like dark message like that's going to come into us and or into your house through your TV if you watch the halftime show. So I'm just trying to pass the message along. But I do want to know what Elon Musk paid $40 million to tell us. Even if you're not a Christian, if you believe in psychics, like if you believe that they are real, there was a video that I saw. It was a really lengthy video, and the psychic wasn't the person that was telling the story, but it was an anonymous story that got sent into them that said, do not watch the halftime show. Don't watch the Super Bowl. I'm just going to watch the commercials. I'm going to turn off the halftime show when it comes on. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed because the halftime show is usually better than the game itself. If you do have to watch it for some reason, just know I'll be praying for you.
Okay, so this is actually religious psychosis, and it's an actual condition. So I'll be praying for you. If she trusts an anonymous note being sent to someone's YouTube channel to be read out as a source of information, then I can understand her past videos that I just showed you. Does that make, like, the reason why I showed you all of that, because I think it all links together. Like, if that was enough to get her to believe that she's going to get, like, possessed by watching the halftime show, then I can understand how she came to these past conclusions. I get it. I see it, girl, and I get it. Okay? I don't get it, but I get it.
Where were the commercials? I just watched that whole game. Unless I missed it during halftime or something. I videotaped every time they went in commercial. I know y'all feel played because I feel played. They were trying to get us to watch the Super Bowl to be able to save the numbers because otherwise nobody would have watched it. But our girl Alex did make it in, did the commercial. Did y'all see that? A lot of y'all know she came to Raleigh a couple weeks ago, and I know somebody from the bar that she went to called Whiskey Rose. The girl that I know worked there. She said she wasn't working the night that Alex went there, but there was a lot of fights. She said she was really glad she wasn't working. It was really crazy. But imagine how it feels to be able to say that you were in a Super Bowl commercial.
So she was just desperate to watch those Elon Musk $40 million commercials, and they weren't there. So Michelle, that's another 40 million gone to the bin.
I'm gonna say this one last thing before I go to bed, because my halftime show video is like popping off for no reason. Everybody's just hating on me in there. Whatever, I don't care. Unfollow me because I'm a Christian. I don't care. Maybe that was just a message from God to me. Maybe I wasn't supposed to share it. I don't know. I felt like I should, though, to my fellow Christian people, because whenever there's a message, you aren't gonna notice it. It'll be subliminal. Even if there wasn't some subliminal, like, dark message that was sent out during the halftime show, I wasn't taking the chance, okay? I'm not trying to invite any type of demon into my house or into me. So everybody that's over there hating on me, saying that I'm like on something or asking me if I'm an alcoholic because I'm off my rocker, go ahead and talk your shit. You're allowed to. It's freedom of speech. I may block you for it. I respect whatever it is that you believe in, and you don't have to believe the same thing as me. That is our free will as humans. I'm not over here trying to shove anything down anybody's throat. And yeah, apparently we didn't miss anything because I've heard from other people that the halftime show wasn't very good. So whatever.
Then she talks about taking the comments off, because I would have read the comments off on the original like Black Magic video, but she took the comments off, and this is her like, this is where she's left the comments open so you can speak about it, because I guess she gives more context to what she was saying, but still, like, religious psychosis is a real thing. Let's leave that pipeline while we're at the beginning.
Yeah, I turned the comments off on the video warning people not to watch the halftime show to redirect them to the video that I just posted, but it got flagged for community guidelines because all my haters just love to report me. But I appealed it, and we'll see if it gets put back up. Everybody's calling me racist now. That's just the crazy, like, nobody mentioned anything about Kendrick. or race at all in that video. And now people are attacking me because I'm a Christian bartender and I drink alcohol. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you had to be a certain profession to believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Now y'all are putting all these rules on me. Show me a perfect Christian. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait because you can't. And a lot of people are coming for me about the race thing because I said black magic. I wasn't saying that it was because a black person was doing magic. I searched in Google, what is black magic? Black magic is the use of supernatural powers or magic for evil or selfish purposes. It's also known as dark magic. Yeah, maybe I should have said dark magic instead of black magic. Like, I didn't realize that that was a term that we weren't allowed to use. I guess I'm just learning a lot. You can't say black magic, you gotta say dark magic. You can't be a bartender and be a Christian. You also can't drink alcohol if you're gonna be a Christian. Everybody thinks that I'm on drugs. Calling me racist doesn't bother me because I know that I'm not. I was tired of having to approve all these dumb comments. Hundreds of comments that are like, I have to approve for that video. And I'm not gonna do it anymore. I just don't feel like doing it, so I just turned them off. And I was gonna send you guys to the video that led me to post the video that I did about the halftime show, but y'all won't let me post it, so I guess you're gonna be stuck with this one.
I mean, I don't think she was trying to be racist, but that's just like one minor critique that she hyper-focused on because it's the only thing that she could have disproved. When in reality, there was just like a plethora of things that was wrong with her content. Then she posts this.
I just recorded a skit, and I'm gonna post it. And I'm going back to my bartending content, not because y'all are telling me to. I was doing something for myself. My whole life, I have been a people pleaser. I have cared way too much about what other people think about me. And this was a test, in a way, and also something that I had to do for me. If you have unfollowed me because of something that I said in the past couple of days, do you know how freeing it is to not give a fuck? I feel like something has been freed in me. If you have unfollowed me, that means that you...
Okay, so she feels really free. Love that for her, I guess. Someone said just pour the drink in the cup, bro. And now she's making like a black magic cocktail just to make fun of the whole thing. Which, like, if you're so scared of black magic, why are you tempting it now? Let me put more religious psychosis on you. Ooh, they're gonna get you through the drink, through the cocktail. Dark magic's gonna come out and it's gonna get you. Because, like, surely if you're so terrified, then you shouldn't be mocking it, right? You're so terrified that you didn't watch the halftime show, then don't make fun of it and don't make a cocktail with it. Someone said, we don't hate you. You were spreading fear for no reason and you never took accountability. I agree.
I'm all about people taking accountability for what they've done. And that's why I haven't taken my video down. I can't do that because then I would portray the message that I don't stand by what I say. And I do. It's one thing to let a couple of videos that you see lead you to not want to do something. And it's another thing to voice that out to potentially millions of people. And I also want to take accountability for the fact that I did not come with receipts when I said that Elon Musk had spent $40 million of his own money for 5 Super Bowl ads. That was my bad. I'd seen it so many places and heard it by so many people that I just thought it was true. I should always have receipts, or at least do my own research.
Ding, 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 ding. That's a bell. And you should have listened to it. If you had that one thing that you thought was true because you read it somewhere and you heard it somewhere and you saw it somewhere and it wasn't true, maybe you can go through all the other stuff you said and also figure out if that was true or not. Question mark at the end of that, maybe? Because if there was one thing, there's a high chance there was more. Where that came from. More disinformation, misinformation.
I'm not going to show the receipts behind me on a green screen. I was wrong about that, and I feel really played myself. And I'm sorry that I said that to you guys. I have learned a lot. And this had nothing to do with Kendrick, by the way. I love his music. I did that one trend, like bing, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, bam. I quote that song all the time. I freaking love that song. They have been saying this, apparently, about the Super Bowl halftimes for a very long time.
Okie doke. Hokey pokey, okie dokie.
Y'all just won't leave me alone about this. I lost 110,000 followers since Sunday, and y'all all wanted to come to my page and tell me that you're leaving and call me names. Do I believe spirits can come through your TV? Absolutely, I do. Have y'all ever heard of manifesting? Do you know that we are I'm a Christian, many creators is what God said. He made us in his image and his likeness. We create our own realities. Do you know how we do that? By what we think about, what we consume through our eyeballs, and also what we speak. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Like, you ever had a bad dream from something you watched? Yeah, things can come into your mind. I'm not saying that was the Super Bowl, but you know what I mean. I had no idea what it was going to be about before it even happened. I just had a bad feeling. Y'all don't get bad feelings about stuff? It is human nature to want to feel understood, and I always try to seek to understand. Anybody that comes to my page and starts calling me names in my comment section, I have no desire to want to understand your point of view. I never hated on anybody that is an atheist. You don't believe in God? That's your right. I would like to hear what you have to say about it. If you believe in a different God, that is your right as well. I never attacked anybody. And black magic is a real thing. And it was in Louisiana. Do y'all know anybody from there? I know several people from Louisiana, and all of them believe in black magic. A lot of people are out here saying that it originated with black people, but I looked it up, and no, the term black magic did not originate with black people. It was a term originated in European cultures. Okay? Everybody is allowed to have their own beliefs. And if you don't believe in what I believe in, that's okay. That really, it's, you guys, that is what makes the world beautiful, is that we don't all have the same beliefs and same opinions. Y'all just won't leave me alone about this.
I also don't want it to be like a case of me just shitting on a certain group of people this whole video, and I hope it doesn't feel that way, because I think you can be on the right and disagree with Elon Musk and Doge and that whole thing. And you can even be on the right. You can be like a registered Republican and still think Trump is not a great president. I don't know, prove me. Like, I feel like if you are one of those people, those rare unicorns, where you're like, yeah, I'm registered on the right, but I think all of this is shit. And it's like, if I'm talking about Elon Musk and Doge and blah, 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 that's what I'm talking about.
There is something that I would like to share with you guys. February 7th, I had 5.2 million followers. February 8th, I hit 5.3 million followers. In the last 28 days, I have gone down 120,000 followers. It's okay if you don't want to watch my stuff, if you want to unfollow me, if you want to block me, that is all okay. I don't even like everybody. Why would I expect everybody to like me? All you people preying on my downfall, nobody up here has the time to even care about my downfall. But y'all down here, y'all are still paying my bills, giving me views. That's why I can't block all of you. A lot of people think that I'm crashing out. If you are the type of person that is going to belittle somebody, make fun of them, call them names, attack their character because they have their own beliefs, I don't want to be associated with you. All this drama and the hate that's going on about me, I feel like it's brought me and my community like closer together. Did you know that TikTok actually saw how many negative comments I was getting and added an extra like anti-bullying like review process for all these comments? And I don't like going, they're out of control. I don't like going to approve all of them because then I have to read all these super negative ones, and I would prefer not to do that. So if you don't like the way that my platform is going, that sounds like a you problem. Anyway, if you're still here, I love you. And welcome to all the new people, because I know that I'm still getting...
And this is the last one now in that saga of like crash out.
From February 9th to March 3rd, I went down 129,000 followers. This is the amount of followers that I have gained in one day or lost in one day. So February 9th, I gained 2,500 followers. February 10th, I lost 11,000. February 12th, I went down 42,000 followers in one day. 13,000 in one day. I don't think you guys really understand that when it does that, I had hundreds of thousands of people coming to my page to hate on me that never even followed me in the first place. But yesterday, March 3rd, today's March 4th, I really wanted to share this with y'all because lately I've been looking at it like I'm not losing anything. If you can't agree to disagree, my sister is a hardcore liberal, one of them. Well, more than one of them. We talk about it often. We still hang out.
And now for, she was like, I'm not MAGA, I'm not this, and I'm not Republican. Here is the caption. Not that I think it's like a big deal, but she was trying to play this like, I'm independent. I'm a registered independent, but yes, I voted for Trump. I'd like to know what the record amount of followers lost in one day is. It made me and my community stronger in the end. So that confirms what people are saying anyway. There is more drama, but I've got to go because I have something going on. But I'll be back to film the rest. Don't you fear. I'll be back. So I'm back a few days later to film the rest of this video. I don't know where I've been. Actually, I do know where I've been. None of your business. I'm joking. That was really mean. Let's continue. She has recently been fired from the place that she's been working at, that bar that's been getting like mass negative reviews. So this is kind of the start of it. We have this little skit. She loves a skit to like explain a situation. And like, I'm kind of here for it. I think it spices things up.
It is a real story that happened to me last night while I was working at Uncle Jesse's. Did you need something left? Oh no, I'm good for right now. But hey, I do have a question. Sure, what's up? Are you Michelle? Yeah, that's me. Why? Oh, well, you're the reason I'm here. I saw you on Google. You saw me on Google? What were you searching? Well, I took my wife out for Valentine's Day. She's out there on the dance floor, but we wanted to see some live music. So we were searching places and we found this place. And I was looking at some of the Google reviews and they mentioned you a lot. Smith? Okay. You saw me on the Google reviews? Yeah, I know they're not very good right now. No, that's why we came. People either really love you or they really hate you. We wanted to see what all the hype was about. Really? I love that. Look at my haters bringing us business. What's your name? My name's George. That's not his real name, by the way. It's nice to meet you, George. Yeah, I have kind of a big following on social media, and I've been a little controversial lately, and everybody knows that I work here, so people are always trying to get me fired. I was gonna say, because the bad reviews just don't seem accurate. But you know what? If you've got that many haters, you must be doing something right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I really appreciate you, George. Yeah, keep it up, girl. You're great.
So this is kind of the start of it, of her just being like, I'm obviously getting a lot of bad reviews and a lot of people are coming in because they're curious about like, whoa, this person's like kind of hated, what's going on? Okay, so that's a preamble to everything. That happened in Feb. And then she does oh man, you should make skits from the reviews, really piss them off. And she's obviously just like poking fun at the negative reviews that she gets, but then she gets fired and people think she was getting fired because of the negative reviews. That's why I kind of did this as like a preamble to the whole thing, because she's been getting these negative reviews ever since she joined that like bar. That's not allegedly the reason why she got fired, which is what a lot of people assumed had happened. So here's the actual story.
I no longer work at Uncle Jesse's. I just found this out today. I got a call from the now former active owner, like the person that books all the bands and does the scheduling and the liquor orders and the beer orders and stocks the bar full of juices and makes sure that we have everything that we need, and then also deals with the bands and writing all the checks and all that stuff, he has been let go. So here's what happened. There are 3 owners of Uncle Jesse's. 2 of them decided that they didn't want the active owner to play that role anymore, to do that part. So they are cleaning house. Everybody that he hired, which is all the bartenders, he has to fire today. So we all got fired because they're hiring all new staff. They said that they're not making enough money. So this was their idea to revamp it. While I was on the phone with him, he told me that they said to tell TikTok not to bash them. I was like, but y'all are firing me when I didn't do anything wrong. And he was like, yeah, I know. He was like, shoot, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just got off the phone with one of the other bartenders that got fired after me. And she was like, did you get fired too? And I said, yeah, girl. And she goes, so none of us work this weekend. Like, so this weekend I was planning on working there and now I'm not. It just sucks because we didn't have any notice of this. Like, I know that I don't rely on the bar money to be able to pay my bills, but so many other bartenders do. It also sucks because I had the schedule worked out perfectly for like when I get my son, and it works for my ex and all that. You know, I wish them the best of luck, and yeah, I'm gonna be starting up a job search. So if y'all have any suggestions about where I should go work in Raleigh, let me know.
And obviously she doesn't need the job. TikTok obviously pays the bills, and she's got that like bar that she has in her own home, which is obviously quite expensive to build. But she obviously needs the job for the content, which is, I think I was talking about this recently with the New York City influencers, where like, if you worked a corporate job and your whole TikTok account was like dressing from a corporate job, like day in the life of the corporate baddie, and then you quit your corporate job because your TikTok's making a lot of money, what is then the content? Unless people then start to just like care about you as a person, which I'm sure a lot of people do care about just you as a person, but aren't you just like cutting off a massive source of like content for you that made you interesting, and that's what made you stand out to people? So I actually kind of respect Michelle for still getting her bar jobs, because it helps her, for better or for worse, because sometimes she overshares other people's business, but it helps her make content, because then she actually has content that people followed her for in the first place. And this one has some copyrighted music over it, so I'm just gonna mute that. The caption says, I love my time with Uncle Jesse's, but God clearly has something amazing in store for me. And here's like all the excuses essentially that they gave for why she and other people getting fired. So it's not just her getting fired, which is why people think it's not to do with the negative reviews, because if that was the case, it would just be her getting fired. We need to revamp this place. We are going to hire all new staff. So you're fired. And then someone said, this makes no sense at all. Why would they fire the whole team?
There's a lot of speculation going on about why they would fire every bartender that we have. I know a lot more than I'm willing to tell you guys, but I am here to clear some things up. A lot of people think that it's because of the bad Google reviews and the drama that I bring to the bar from the internet, but they've never cared about that. They knew exactly what they were getting into when they hired me, and yes, they fired every bartender. One of the owners has been bringing it up and pushing it and everything that they want. He wants to have Uncle Jesse's be more geared towards college kids, like be a college bar. So if you're gonna revamp something, it makes sense to get rid of all of your staff, because you can't revamp something and come up with a whole different concept with all of your same staff. Here's what doesn't make sense to me. So you want to cater towards college students, right? So 77% of my followers are female. 36% of my followers are between the ages of 18 and 24, college age, right? Anytime we had a fraternity or a sorority event, every single person that came in there knew who I was. I was taking pictures more than I was even bartending. It was like a meet and greet. Why would you fire me when you want to cater towards college students? I don't even think they had to fire me. All they had to do was saying that they're changing into a college bar and that, hey, the person that's been running this is no longer going to be running it. I would have been like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. It's a business decision at the end of the day. I'm trying to not take it personally. But the former active owner that called each of us individually and fired us on the phone, he did us a solid. You know what they were going to do? They were going to have us all just show up to our shifts and fire us as we showed up. A lot of the bartenders that work there have other jobs, like other bartending jobs. So when you give them a couple days notice that, hey, you're not working this weekend here because you're fired, then they can have the opportunity to pick up other shifts at the other bars that they work at. I thought that was messed up. I was like, y'all, you weren't even gonna let us plan our weekend? Some people live like 45 minutes away from that bar, that bartend there. Good luck to them in their business. I really...
Obviously, 1, what a way to fire people. 2, obviously they have no respect for their staff. 3, makes sense, kind of. If you want to revamp the whole bar, change it completely, and you have a bunch of like maybe older staff that caters to older bar goers, kind of like, you can imagine what I'm saying by like, sometimes there's like those college bars where everyone that works there is like young, hip and cool. I sounded very unyoung, unhip and uncool. And then there are bars that are catered towards older people, like older gentlemen will be there. And then they have like older staff there and they play different music to the college bars. The college bars are more young, hip and cool. So it just makes sense. But what she's actually saying, I can't believe the second half of this video I'm just agreeing with Michelle. What a ton of events, all in one video. I agree with what she's saying though. If she's famous on TikTok, even though she's older than the college kids, she's actually going to be quite cool with the college kids because she's famous on TikTok. And that's like the ultimate way to get in with the kids, right? So it makes sense if they had left her, but there's more drama where that came from. So someone said, how can they make the active owner leave if he owns it too and they don't have to give you 2 weeks since it's for no reason?
Based off the comments, there's still a lot of questions. You guys, first of all, I am not trying to ruin their business. This is not what I wanted. I really appreciated Uncle Jesse's in the 1.5 years that I spent with them. I really loved working there. I was happy. I am hurt. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's a business decision and it's not my business. I just wanted to let you guys know that I wasn't working there so that if you were planning on coming there to meet me, to let you know that I'm not going to be there. And I knew that everybody would want to know why, so I had to tell you. And I'm just being honest from the information that I know. Since there are 3 owners, all equally shared owners, 2 of them voted and the other one lost. So he is still part owner. The old active owner is still part owner. He just isn't getting paid a salary to run the bar. And for everybody saying that I should sue because it's wrongful termination, you guys, North Carolina is a right to work state. So they can fire you for any reason at any time. I've seen a lot of comments of people saying, oh, she was probably giving away free drinks and all this. You guys, I treat every single bar that I work behind as if I owned it. That's how I make decisions. If I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation, what would I do if I owned it? That's the decision that I make. If I make a wrong decision, the bar owners always know that I was trying to do what is best for the business. I may not have made the right decision in that scenario. This has nothing to do with that anyway. I also see a lot of comments of people saying that they only got rid of 3 bartenders. She's lying, just the problem bartenders they got rid of. I have talked to all of them. Gypsy, Joey, Jen, Katie, me, Marissa, like every single bartender that we had has been fired. Also, for anyone who didn't know, this bar that I'm in right now, this is my garage. Like this is in my garage. I'm not at the bar that I was working at when I'm doing these videos. Based off the comments, there's still a lot of questions. You guys, first of all, I am not trying to ruin their business. This is not what I wanted. I really appreciated Uncle Jesse's in the 1.5 years that I spent with them. I really loved working there. I was happy. I am hurt. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's a business decision and it's not my business. I just wanted to let you guys know that I wasn't working there so that if you were...
So she's saying that everyone got fired and that she's not trying to bash them. That kind of changes, obviously, but it just becomes a bit more dramatic. And then she films a TikTok saying, day drinking since we don't have to bartend tonight, and it's with a girl that she worked with, and they're just like drinking at her bar because they don't have a job to go to, I guess. And the caption of this one says, why did Michelle the Bartender get fired from Uncle Jesse's? I love the like speaking about herself in third person. It's kind of funny.
Y'all want the tea? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, all of it. All right, I'm gonna tell you everything that you wanna know. Originally, I did not wanna make this video. I don't wanna give that place any more publicity, but as I scroll on my For You page, it's like every third video is about me. And everybody wants to have some new tea and clout chase and get all these views. And I'm just so sick of it. So you know what? I'm a clout chase myself, and I'm going to give you the tea because everyone's going to come on here and slander my name and be like, well, you're not fired for no reason. So I'm going to tell you, and you can make your own decisions about why you think I was fired.
Sorry for grabbing my phone in a sneaky way. Phoebe, my dog, if you're new here, the love of my life, goes on group walks every week, and she's on her group walk, and she is shy. She's a shy girly pop, and every time they go out, the dog walker will pan and all the dogs are playing together and Phoebe's just right next to her, like a little shadow, just right there. But apparently today she's playing with the dogs and her confidence is growing. Everyone say congratulations, Phoebe. Everyone clap for Phoebe. Yay, Phoebe. She's getting confident. Yay. It's like seeing a child like actually make friends at nursery. I think that's the closest like comparison I can make because I've never had a child. So this is my only child. Well, and my horse. I've got 2 children now.
That I came across on my For You page was a video by a server named Maddie Marotta. I met her when I worked back at $2. I'm gonna tag her below, but girl, you inspired me to make this video. I'm not gonna say any names in this video, but this is how it is. There are 3 owners of the business. A was the former active owner. The now active owners is a married couple. We'll call B the husband and C the wife. And then D is an investor. Really, C hired me. She saw that I was leaving $2 because I was moving to Raleigh. I did not get fired from $2. I gave them a month's notice that I was leaving, and they let me work out the entire month's notice. One of our beer reps at $2 when I was leaving knew C, and she gave me C's number, and C said that I should come work with them because I'd fit in perfectly. So that's how I got the job. Then I met A. A had to approve C's decision before it was final. So C hired me, but then A just approved it. Right after I kicked my ex-husband out last year, me and A started bonding over the fact that we were going through the same type of situation, and we realized that we had a lot in common, and it was never like that until it kind of was. So yes, A and I are together. We've been together for a year and 2 months now, and C found out about it last April. So they have known about A and I's relationship for almost a year. It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't have fired me then when they found out. C told me that she didn't think that A would let our relationship affect work. And it hasn't. Nobody has any proof. Nobody's ever seen us kiss. Nobody's ever seen us hold hands. Nobody's ever seen us do anything. You wouldn't be able to prove it if you tried. And everybody wants to say that I get special privilege. Absolutely not. If anything, I'm held to a higher standard because of that. Imagine if I tried to call out sick when I wasn't actually sick. A wouldn't know if that was true or not. Everyone wants to say that A would give me the best shifts. I have had Friday and Saturday night there since I started in October. My shifts did not change once I started dating him. Back in December, I did a video about an employee and her boyfriend. In the video, I didn't say any names. Nobody would even know that it was about her and her boyfriend unless they told people. So how do I say this without outing what video it was? I didn't paint her in a bad light. It was mostly him. But since she's with him and that's her man, she had to defend that. And I respect that. So she sends this really long text message to me, A, and C saying that she would never work beside me again. She called me a bully.
So the situation was Michelle thought that that girl was in like a toxic relationship because the guy came in and was acting like an asshole basically, and she did a TikTok about it, not naming them but making it very obvious who she was talking about. So obviously then if that girl stays in a relationship with him and then has to work alongside you, it's inappropriate. Like, you shouldn't be making TikToks, even not naming people, about the people that you work with. Like, negative TikToks that they wouldn't want you to post, obviously. And obviously this whole thing about her dating the guy, I mean, all of that I can imagine just is messy. Like, it's just a bit messy. And I'm not saying any of it is wrong or right. I'm just saying it's just really messy. And that's Michelle's life as a whole. It's just like, whoa, this is messy.
I was like, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that you felt that way. I have always genuinely liked you. She said that I was painting them in a bad light. And C was like, I'm not going to tell anybody what to post on their social media, but maybe, Michelle, maybe you could take the video down. And I'm like, no. Maybe that was mean of me to not take it down, but nobody knew it was her. Also, I stand by all that I said. I was like...
But she knew it was about her, and her boyfriend knew it was about him. So, like, those two people knew it was about them. And then everyone that works there probably also knew it was about them. And anyone that, like, knows them knew it was about them. So it's just a bit hard.
In the text message back to her, I was like, girl, from what I saw in that situation, I witnessed it. You deserve to be treated like the queen that you are. And I felt like she was disrespected right in front of me by her man. But maybe it was just because he had some alcohol. I don't know. So she pretty much quit because she said she'd never work beside me again. But she was also taking off a bunch of time to study for some test and wouldn't be able to work again until sometime in February. Plus, she really couldn't work that often anyway. C started acting very standoffish to me, started treating me differently. And I'm like, oh my God. And for the past a little over a year, B has been pushing to make that bar be more geared towards college students because that's what he thinks, where he thinks the money is. He wanted a younger staff, as you guys can see what the staff pictures look like, right? So on this past Tuesday, the day after St. Patrick's Day, all the owners had a meeting. C was not at the meeting. Right after the meeting, I get a text message from A, and it says, I have some interesting news for the bar. And I was like, oh, can't wait to hear about it. He's like, I'll call you in a little bit. So I'm the first person that he calls, and he fires me. Like, I was just like, wait, so am I fired? What's going on here? He said, yes, and I have to fire everybody. He did fire everybody. He told me that he called each individual person.
And apparently the only person that stayed was a 21-year-old that they hired recently, and she would obviously fit in with I'm assuming they hired her after already knowing that they were going to rebrand. So she was part of like the revamp.
And that works there and fired them all. That girl that was an employee that hadn't worked since December, she was not technically employed, so she never got fired. That bar started receiving a lot of hate on the internet and turned the comments off on their Instagram and their Facebook, and I don't know if they got with Google to like get reviews taken down. I'm not really sure, but they probably saw something about an age discrimination lawsuit. You have to be over 40 in order to file an age discrimination lawsuit. And so guess who got hired back? The two that were over 40. And that girl that was done taking her test or whatever, she is now working back there too. This is just my personal opinion because I don't know, but I think part of the reason they hired those two older bartenders back was to ease some of the blowback from all the negative social media hate, but that did make me look really stupid.
I don't think it was to ease the blowback, it's to not get sued. Like, I think that's their main concern, which is obviously they had this idea of like a revamp and now they're having to keep the oldest staff, which is like, do you know what I mean? Like, Michelle would have probably been an easier compromise for them, but if their whole thing is we want to do this college bar thing, go as young as possible, the fact that they had to rehire the oldest people that they fired is probably like a bit of a awkward situation now. So then she posts a TikTok about Kenny, who posted a few TikToks basically exposing Michelle for like all the drama basically about this. I'm not gonna make you watch his video because her response clarifies what he said anyway, so let's just watch all of that together.
Kenny, since you want clout so badly off of me, I'm about to say something, and you're gonna feel so stupid in a second. This is a screenshot from a video he posted at the bar that we used to work at together, 4/12, April 12th. So the very next video that he posted was a video on 4/25 saying that he no longer works at that bar anymore. So it is safe to say that he left that bar that I was working at with him between the 12th and the 25th, right? There used to be this girl that would come in almost every night that we were open, and she loved to talk to the owner. One of the nights, one of the other bartenders, not Kenny, one of the other ones, comes up to me and says, "Hey, did you see his new little girlfriend?" And I'm like, "His who?" Because mind you, I'm his girlfriend. So I'm like, "What?" And I just like walk down and I see them both talking together. They're laughing, and I'm like, "Huh, okay." Anyway, I go back to work. After the shift was over, I asked my boyfriend, also the owner, I was like, "So who's that girl?" He told me, which he had referenced her earlier for some service that he had done. I'm not going to tell you guys because then you'll know what profession she's in, and I'm not going to tell you. I can prove it because I was very upset about this. I'm like, everybody thinks that you're screwing her, and you're not, but they still think it, and I was getting all these derogatory comments about it and stuff, and I just had to laugh it off and be like, "Oh, yeah." On April 1st, it was a Monday, I took this screenshot. So my sister and I were hanging out that night, and I wanted to be able to show her. I blocked her out because I don't want to show her face on here. But I wanted to show my sister that everybody at work thinks that that my boyfriend is screwing this girl. I wanted to show her. For over a month, the entire staff, besides me, of course, was so convinced that the owner was fucking this girl. And he wasn't, because he's fucking me. He was coming home to my house after we left work. Yeah, so you want to hop on here and talk about how you were fearful for your job. You didn't want to say anything because I was dating the owner. None of y'all knew. Okay? Anyone else want to hop on here and lie about me?
So he was obviously saying that everyone was like fearful to say anything to Michelle because she was dating the owner. Oh my God, my camera's dying again. Basically saying, at the time, everyone was making comments about his new girlfriend. That wasn't me. So they obviously didn't know that I was dating him, because if they did, they wouldn't have said that. But I'm going to have to disagree with, I think they could have known and they were just messing with you. And that's why they were saying it, to like see your reaction. Because it's like tea and drama. And I feel like workplaces are so toxic anyway that like maybe they did know. And you just think they didn't know. And someone said, to be honest, I had a hard time following that story. And she said, Kenny has been trashing my name for clout, and I disproved at least part what he is claiming.
A lot of people are having a really hard time following that Kenny story. Y'all, Kenny, I have never dated him. Kenny was a coworker, a bartender that I worked with for about 6 months. He left last April. I am still and was dating the owner. The owner is Mr. Flowers. The reason that the girl was relevant, when Kenny quit, everybody still thought that the owner was hooking up with that girl. Kenny tried to say that before he left that bar, that he was fearful for his job, so that's why he didn't say anything, because I was dating the owner. He never knew. I don't even care if y'all believe me. I know that if somebody worked there and saw that video, they'd be like, and that's the satisfaction that I'm getting out of this. That right there. And if you're one of those people that thinks that dating your boss is wrong, I actually agree with you. Once we started dating, I said, is this gonna be a problem? Should I like start looking for other bartending jobs? He was like, no, it's fine. I was willing to quit to be with him. Everybody's like, well, how could they fire an owner? He was getting paid a salary to run that bar. He was outvoted by the other two owners. They said, haha, we voted you lost, and now you are not gonna be working that position and getting paid a salary to do it. But he is still 1/3 owner.
That kind of clarifies it a bit more, I guess. People also saying that she wasn't pulling her weight at work because she was dating the boss. She posts TikToks clarifying that she did pull her weight. Someone said, you're doing okay, like genuinely asking how are you with all the changes and hate going your weight, and you're not posting for a bit. It feels like a check-in is a good idea. So she just checks in and basically talks about that. Now, she was also being accused of stealing from the bar, but that's like its own separate issue, and she's threatening like a lawsuit. So I'm just gonna watch those TikToks with you guys because I think they're a bit more important.
This is for all the people that want to hop on the internet and speak on they have no clue about. I have several defamation cases. I'm coming for you. I am. Because this is bull. What bar would want to hire somebody who thinks that they were stealing liquor bottles to stock their own bar and taking shit off of the walls to put on my walls? You better have receipts if you're going to make some allegations like, because you already know I'm here with them. Okay, this is a screenshot of a video. I did this video on May 8th. My garage bar did not start getting built until June of the month after this video was taken. Fact check me, go back. And here's the next picture of all the, I already owned all of this liquor. Here are all the receipts from the ABC store because I write them off because this is a business expense. Did you guys know that bars pay more per bottle for a bottle of liquor than we do, like normal civilians? Yeah, and if I can write it off, why would I have anybody else buy my liquor? And I also have the bank statements to match all of these. So try me, bitch. And then with the beer signs, y'all got me fucked up. This is a Busch Light light up sign that I bought from Temu, that Guinness thing, that Busch Light sign, this it's 5 o'clock somewhere sign. With my own money, I bought this many store and pours. I kept one of each color in my bar and I donated the rest of them to the bar. You got this sign, you got 48 pour spouts. That sign, this sign, there's a sign down there. Those are the lights that go on my dartboard. 48 more pour spouts. These signs, I also bought all of these signs from Amazon. Oh look, and more signs that I bought off Amazon. And here's some more. And just a couple more in case those weren't enough for you. Or if you've ever worked at a bar before, all you have to do is ask your liquor reps or beer reps for some free stuff and they'll give it to you. So much of this stuff has come from beer and liquor reps. I won that at a silent auction. Y'all are out here thinking that I was up at the bar with a drill, just taking stuff off of the walls to put on. Like, don't you think that the walls would be like bare in that spot? It would be obvious, right?
Obviously, it's that she's being accused of stealing, and I don't think she's stealing. I think she's got more than enough money to buy stuff for her own bar at home. Because if you guys don't know, that's her like at home bar.
If you've ever wanted to accuse somebody of stealing liquor bottles from a bar, or maybe the boss put them on the company card for you and to stock your own bar, because ain't no way I could buy all this myself, right? Besides, you know, the ridiculous amount of proof that I indeed paid for all these bottles. Do you see my name right there? See my name right there? Yeah. In addition to all those, I also have all of these, just from last year. There's probably something else you should know too. Bars in North Carolina are required to maintain detailed records of alcohol purchases and sales, including invoices and receipts for 3 years. As somebody who has been bartending, when ALE has visited, when they come in, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna wanna see your liquor license. The second thing they're gonna do is they're gonna ask you for all of your receipts. They wanna see what you have bought and when. And they wanna check to match your inventory with your receipts. They wanna know how much you've spent from the ABC store and the quantity purchased, the amount collected from the drink sales, and the quantity of unsold liquor no longer on the premises due to breakage or theft. Did you know that? Yeah, I bet you already knew that.
Obviously, just more proof that she's not stealing. I believe her that she's not stealing because I don't think she has to. She's got more than enough money to not have to steal from TikTok. And the only reason she has these jobs, like I said, is just to still continue to be able to make bar-related content and skits and funny customer interactions and stuff. So I don't think she's stealing. And if she is suing people, great, because I think it's not great to be accused of stealing. So this whole video is just like half me completely disagreeing with Michelle and half me being like, yeah, you guys are kind of wrong for this. So what a nuanced conversation. You guys let me know what you think about any of this. Thanks for sitting through it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.